Okay, Chapter 2, Section 3. Slope-Intercept Form. Also known as Y-Intercept Form. Okay, this is just a way to write the equation of a line. Okay, this is an equation of a line. It's a slope-intercept form. The way it looks is y equals mx plus b. But the y, the m, the x, and the b all stand for something. The first thing we're going to talk about is what does m stand for? You should know this because of yesterday. Slope. So right away you see the m, you think slope. Slope, we know because of yesterday, it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, do you see how I'm color coordinated here, M, red? If anybody wants to highlight their notes, I've got lots of highlighters. Okay, you're more than welcome to highlight and color coordinate your notes. B. I don't know why they call it B because it doesn't really sound like anything like M is slope. It doesn't match. Maybe it was Latin or Greek or I don't know. Okay? But B, does anybody remember from geometry what B stands for? The Y-intercept. Okay? The Y-intercept. It's where the line crosses the Y-axis. Okay? The Y-axis is the vertical one. The black vertical one. You see the big blue dot? That is where the green dotted line crosses the y-axis. That's called the y-intercept. You guys have heard of an intersection. Most of you are either drive or will get your license soon. Intersection is where two roads meet. Well, an intercept is where two lines meet, where the y-intercept is where the y meets the line. The y-axis meets the line you're graphing. Any questions? All right. So suppose I have this information. Suppose that m is -4 and the y-intercept is -3. What is the equation of the line? Well, how do you do that? You write out your y equals mx plus b, and as you can see, the blue arrow points to the m because it's slope, or m, and the red arrow points to the b because that's the y-intercept. So how would I write that? Well, y equals -4x plus -3. Or, what's another way to write plus a negative? Minus. It could be y equals -4x minus 3. That is the equation of a line with slope -4 and y-intercept -3. What? What? Now, suppose I ask you to graph that line. Or wait, no, wait. We'll talk about something else first.
How to use it.
Okay, yeah, we will use the TI inspires here soon, but I want you to know how to graph this out. Calculators? All right. Let me ask you a question. What in the world do the x and y stand for?
The x-axis on the graph.
Raise your hand because I heard a lot of mumbling.
The points on the graph.
Yeah. You're the first person in 3 classes that's answered that. Yeah, most people have no idea what it stands for. What in the world do the x and the y stand for? Well, they stand for the points on the graph. That's okay. I'm going to draw a better one. If you drew one, leave it there. I just wanted one of these. Okay?
Sort of can't, yeah.
I want a fancy one, yes. Okay, so let me talk about that first of all. Well, suppose we have to graph. What does the graph of this line look like? Because slope-intercept form is the graph of a line. How do you graph this line? What's first step? Just give me a first step.
Alright, the -3 is what the, wait for the dot on the y-intercept.
Okay, so we know the -3 is my y-intercept. Okay, so step 1, graph your y-intercept. Okay, well we know it's got to be 0, -3 because any point on this line has no x value. Because x tells you to go right and left, well if it crosses the y-axis it doesn't go right and left. So it has to be 0, -3. I made up the 0 because I know if it crosses the y-axis, the x value has to be 0. Okay, so I start down here. Now, step 2. Somebody besides Eric, give me the next step. Cameron?
Then you go down, or you said you'd put -4/1.
Okay, so basically you're going to use the slope. Okay, you say the slope is -4. Okay, well yesterday when we talked about slope, we said slope was the plane of the graph or rise over run. Okay, Cameron put that over 1 for a reason. Okay, because he needed a run. And we know that -4 written as a fraction is just over 1. And he needs that 1 so we have a run. Do you understand? Okay. Now, something you need to understand, this is where people screw up a lot, and I've taught this stuff for a while. This is where they mess up. You need to write this down for sure. A negative slope is going down and to the right or up and to the left. Positive slope is either going up and to the right or down and left. And if you think about the hill we talked about yesterday, positive, negative, 0, undefined, well, think about it. If you're standing in the middle of the hill, positive slope is going to go up and to the right or down and to the left. Same thing here. If I start in the middle of the hill, it's either going to go up and to the left or down to the right. So the type of slope we have, Cameron, is -4 or -4/1. So which direction are we going to go once we're at the y-intercept?
You're gonna go down and to the right.
Okay, so we're going to go down 4 and to the right 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
And then up 4.
1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. Very good. Now, when you graph these, I expect you to plot your points, and then I actually want you to get a straight edge, whether you use a piece of paper. I know last year a lot of my kids used their ID. They just like use their ID, that way they have to get a ruler. Okay? Make sure you use a straight edge. And put arrows at the end of your line. I'm very picky about that. It drives me crazy. So, there we go. There is the line. Y equals -4x minus 3. That's what it looks like. Could you do that again? Yeah. Hopefully you could. Now let me ask you, or Lincoln's answer, or yes, Mr. Lincoln's answered a question, and I said, what do the x and y stand for? And he said, they're the points that fall on the line. Okay, but what does that actually mean? Well, let me ask you. Pick any point on this graph. Pick any point.
3. -2.
-3,
0.
0. Okay, -3, 0. So that's right here, right? Obviously, that point doesn't fall in that line, right? I mean, it doesn't, it's away from the line. So watch what happens to the equation. Okay, we have y equals -4x minus 3. So if you actually take your -3 and plug it in for the x, or not negative, not that one. I meant to highlight the other one. If you actually take your -3, this one, and plug it in for the x, and you take your y, which is what? What's y in this case? 0.
It'd be 12 minus 3 equals 0.
Now, does everybody see where I got that -3, 0? And I plugged it in for x and y. Any questions about that before I solve this? Now, solve that. We have 0 equals -12 minus 3, which is -15. Now, does 0 equal -15? No. Not true. So, this point does not fall on this line. Do you understand? That's what the x and y stand for. If you can take any point, plug it in, solve it, and if it's true, the point falls on the line. If it's false, the point does not fall on that line. So if you understand, I want you to try this. Y equals 3x minus 1. Plug both of them in and tell me which one of the two falls on the line and which one doesn't. Don't say it out loud. Just do it at your seat and see if you get the same answer that I do. Okay, now I'm going to show you which one does and which one doesn't. What's the equation of that line we just looked at? Let me tell me what it is.
Y equals -4x plus 2.
Negative, no. The one you just used. 3x minus 1. Okay, there it is. 3x minus 1. Okay, the first point, okay, I'm going to plot it and we'll find out, does that point fall on the line? Where's my point? Where's my point? Plot point, plot point. Plot point, plot point. Oh, for crying out loud, where's plot point?
Points and something.
There it is. Point. So now what was the first point we have?
I don't know.
Well, look. Hopefully you did it. -4, 1?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, -4, +1. Okay. And then what was the second point?
1, 2.
1, 2. I'm get it exact. It's really hard to get this exact. That's pretty close. Yeah, does it fall on the line?
Yeah.
Yes. So let's look at our equation. If we were to plug those in, we should have got 1 equals 3 times -4 minus 1. So -12 minus 1 is -13. Does -13 equal 1?
No.
No. Did that one fall on the line?
No.
No. So we're good. So let's try this one. 2 equals 3 times 1 minus 1. So I have 3 minus 1. Is that equal 2?
Yeah.
Yes. Did it fall on the line?
Yes.
Do you understand now what the x and the y stand for? Okay. It stands for all the points. If you pick a point, it falls on the line. Now, a couple more things. Really quick. This is coming straight from your homework. So if you write this one down, you just did a homework problem. Okay, actually, I'll give you your worksheet and you can follow along. Okay? You can actually write it down as I do it.
Is there homework?
For some reason, some of these are coming out blank. What's going on? Okay. Okay, now, how do I graph? Well, step one, who remembers step one from the last graph you did? Yeah, the y-intercept. Step one, the y-intercept. So my y-intercept is right here, so I know it's 0, 1/2, because I know if it crosses the y-axis, the x value has to be 0. So graph 0, 1/2. Well, 1/2 is going to be right between 1 and 0. It's going to be right there. Now, what's step 2? Yeah, I have graph paper. Lots of it. I have tons of graph paper. You guys just take one and pass it down. Step 2. What's step 2? Josh, what's step 2? What's that? Look at your notes. That's what they're. Yeah. Find the slope. What is the slope here, Josh? Almost. Yep. -3/2. Okay. Now, if it's a negative slope, which way is it going, Kurt? Negative is going which way?
Like that.
Okay. Which is
This is
down into the right or up into the left. So down to the right or up to the left. So let's do that. Let's go down and to the right. So negative, we'll go down 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Or up and to the left. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And there we have it. Then connect the dots. And there's my graph. Use your ID or use a piece of paper or something and make it straight. ID is about perfect length to make it straight. That's what you're looking for in something like number 9. Now, I want you to look at number 7. What's the problem with number 7? Why can't I graph that one right away?
Slope-Intercept Form.
Y.
Yeah, it's not in slope-intercept form. So what do I have to do? Yeah, I have to put it in slope-intercept form by first subtracting 4x. So let's do number 7 together. Let's put it in slope-intercept form together. Can I take 12 minus 4x?
3y equals 4.
Can you subtract
No.
12 and 4x? No, because they're not like terms. So I have 3y equals 12 minus 4x. How do I get rid of the 3? Divide both sides by 3. I'll put that one in a different color so you can see. We've done this. That's why I'm kind of fast. You should know how to do this. So I have y equals, then 12 divided by 3 is 4 minus, can I take 4 divided by 3?
-4/3.
Can you take 4 divided by 3?
No.
No, so just leave it -4/3, or just 4/3, minus 4/3 x. Now, is that in slope-intercept form?
No.
Not yet. What's the problem?
They need switching.
Yeah, they need switch. Now, when you switch them, be very, very careful. Why do I say that? Because of the signs. Okay? Because of the signs. This is a -4/3, so you have to leave it -4/3. And this is a +4, so you have to leave it a +4. You can't, it's 4/3 x minus 4 is not right. You have to leave the signs with them. Now, could you graph that one? Yeah, I'm not going to graph it from there. But I wanted to show you how you get to this point when it's not in slope-intercept form. Okay? And on the back of your worksheet, it just asks you to find the slope and the y-intercept. Okay, given the graph. We did not do that in our notes. Okay, but you know what slope is and you know what y-intercept is. So you should be able to do that. Yes, ma'am. That's where this came from. You just have to pay attention. Okay. Does everybody else have a back on their worksheet? Make sure you have a back. Okay, go ahead and get busy. You have some time. If you have questions, come and ask. Okay. And that's it.